G'day folks, Ben from Snowies today with the latest version of the Ascent Down Sleeping Bag from Cedar Summit.
Hit it.
This refined version of the Ascent bag comes with updated fabrics, a more technical hood. It's filled with goose down and remains the most versatile sleeping bag in the Cedar Summit lineup. Before we dive in, we've got loads more content like this on our channel, so make sure you like and subscribe below. Now let's jump into the product. Now, since the Ascent bag came into the Cedar Summit range, it's remained the most versatile sleeping bag offering that they've had. It offers a really good balance between general camping and also technical. So it's not really heavy, has the features of a technical bag, but isn't quite as expensive or restrictive as many really technical bags. They've also refined it down a little bit. It's important to note that there's not that many changes between the predecessor of this and what this version is here now. There's only subtle differences. It's still a really technical bag. There's only two in the range now, both come in a regular and a long size, with regular suiting 185 centimetre height of user, and the long version suiting up to 198 centimetres. There's a -1 degree and a -9 degree bag. These are tested to the ISO standard, which is similar to the EN standard, same sort of testing. And this is the limit of comfort range, being the unisex version of this bag. There is a women's version as well. -1 being the limit of comfort, which is where a standard man will generally sleep comfortably in a comfortable position inside the bag. But it is just a guide, it's a starting point, and you can kind of adjust the bag up and down with the versatility of these bags anyway. Now, 4 in the range, starting at around about 780 grams for the -1 degree bag here in the regular length, which is this one here. And then this one here is also the regular length of the -9 degree bag. Also comes in a long version, which weighs at about 1.16 kilos. So it's filled with a 750 loft goose down, which means the bag itself is much lighter than the Trek, which is another popular range of bags. You pay a little bit more, but you get lighter weight for the similar sort of performance and also a smaller pack size. So if you're looking for something that balances between general camping and you want to use it a lot for hiking, overnight hikes instead of lightweight adventures, this is a great option. Now, when you get your bag, you do get these storage sacks with it. So different sizes for different size bag, but this is for the -1 degree bag here. So this is the storage sack you would use to store it when you're not using it. They've changed this bag slightly from the versions before this. Slightly smaller opening, which means it's a little bit harder to get in, but it means the bag's not billowing out over the top. You don't have to wrestle with it as much when you're packing it away. Inside the bag, your compression sack, and we'll pack all these up later to show you the pack size of these, a little bit of product information, and you also get the down certificate. Now, it's a 750 plus loft RDS certified goose down inside this bag here, and you get the actual certificate of compliance to show that it is the actual test of the down here to prove that it is a 750 loft down inside the bag. So high quality goose down inside the bag. So moving on to the bag itself, firstly the fabrics is something that they've changed in the latest versions of these bags. This is now a Blue Sign verified 20 denier recycled nylon on the outside of this bag here, also a 20 denier nylon on the inside, and it has a water resistant finish to it. The bag's not waterproof, but if you do get a bit of moisture on the top, it sheds off. Combine that with the DWI treatment, the ultra dry down on the inside, means that the bag is going to resist moisture and maintain loft and warmth and even sort of cool sort of climates. But it is still important to try and keep your down bag as dry as you can. Moving on to the construction of the bag, if we had to have a look over the top, they're constructed with these panels. If we talk about the color differences in the panels first, where there is a darker green here, this indicates something's going on. So this dark green here indicates this zip here, which is part of the free flow zip system. We'll show you more on that shortly. And then down this side of the bag here, a dark strip right down the side and right around the foot section here to indicate that there is a zip going all the way around there. This is a separate foot zip and side zip. Once again, more on that shortly. And then darker around the hood here because you've got adjustments around the hood here. With regards to the baffles, important to note, it's all box wall construction, which means each of these baffles isn't sewn through to the inside of the bag here. There is a vertical baffle of fabric that sits between the outer and the inner. So the top and the bottom layer of down actually creates a box, which allows the down to puff up and you get this consistent layer of down over your entire body. Vertical baffles over the top of the torso here keeps the down up over the top of your body where you most need it, over the top of your torso. Horizontal baffles like this can result in down moving sideways or down to the edge of the bag. You need to sort of fluff it back up again. So they've maintained vertical baffles here where you need it, and then horizontal baffles down to the foot section here. Three-dimensional foot section. Once I'm in there, I'll show you how much room that gives you. And then on the bottom of the bag, all horizontal baffles here because you're lying on top of that anyway. The hood has been slightly updated. It accommodates a pillow nice and comfortably inside here now. This is just a standard Aeros pillow from Cedar Summit, so that fits comfortably inside there. Once again, show you when I crawl inside. Two adjustments for the hood here with a scalloped sort of shape to this draft tube here. These are downfill draft tubes. So it fits nice and comfortably around your head. You can adjust that here to tighten it up once you're inside the bag, and you can also adjust across the top to really pull that hood in around your head. They wanted to really design a hood that was functional and didn't end up just crushing the fabric in the down when you got inside the bag. Adding to the versatility of the whole Cedar Summit range, if we zip this down here and have a look at this little press stud here, you can see they've noted quilt lock here. This is compatible with Cedar Summit quilts, which are not a full sleeping bag, just something you can either use as an independent quilt, or you can actually clip it onto the sleeping bag here. It lays over the top and then you tuck your feet into the quilt at the end. What that does is allow you to extend the versatility of your sleeping bag system, I suppose. If you've got a sleeping bag, say grab the -1 degree bag and then you want to warm it up for cool weather, you can also get a quilt to go over the top to warm that up if you like, or just use the quilt for warmer weather. So if you're getting into setting up your sleep system, just have a consideration about how you might use all those features. Onto the zips, another upgrade with the Cedar Summit zips is they've added this zip plow onto their zipper pulls here. Probably adds a little bit of weight, but adds so much functionality to the bag without this zip actually getting snagged. So that features on all of these zips here, this big zip down the side here as well. And it does work. If I zip this up and down, I can't get it snagged. I've actually tried to get it snagged, and the only way you really end up getting it snagged is if you literally cross the fabric over the zip like this, and it gets caught in underneath the zipper pull. So there you go, I managed to do that there, but I've had to force it. I recommend for these to work properly, just make sure the zip's clear and just zip it up and down, straight up and down, but you can do this over and over again and it doesn't get snagged. So the zipper plow does work, especially combined with the slightly stiffened fabric inside the bag here. Now these two zippers, the one on this side and the one on the other side, work together as part of the free flow zip system. You can fold this down, stick your arms out the side. I'll show you more on that shortly as I crawl inside. But if you want, you can also use this completely zipped open. So if I zip this open, once again, keep that nice and straight, it zips easily. I can unzip this, undo this zip, sorry, here. Undo this one as well. Now this independent zip also has a zip at this end, so I can stick my feet out the end. But I can zip this right open if I like and use it just as a quilt. So I can just throw this over the top of me and use it as an open quilt. Having a look inside the bag, the draft tubes that run down the sides of the zips here, nice big oversized draft tube, so that when this is zipped up seals over the zip here. That's where you can lose a lot of heat. So a nice big draft tube improves the efficiency of the bag. And you've got a draft tube that runs right down this side here and across the foot section here to seal this zip that runs all the way along the side of the bag. One other feature inside is a little security pocket here, so you can keep keys, phone, head torch, money, whatever you like, secure in your sleeping bag at night. Now I'm going to zip this up and crawl back inside the bag, or crawl inside the bag, sorry, to show you how comfortable it is. Now I just want to talk about zipping these up because a lot of people get caught up with zippers. When you do a zipper up, make sure that you seat this section of the zipper right in to the bottom of this zipper pull here. You first need to make sure that this section is right at the base of that side. Slide this in place and make sure that both sides, this side and this side, are lined up before you pull this forward. That will then zip free. Now if you zip this all the way up and try and do this one up, it's going to be difficult. I'd recommend leaving this undone, doing this one up. Pull this once again right to the bottom. Make sure this is seated right down the bottom here. Pull the zipper right down to the base so that that slides in. This side and this side are even. Hold this side and then you can zip this side up. Before you zip that all the way up, put your hand inside, grab this zip and do that up. It's just going to make that overlap there easy. The overlap's necessary to seal the warm air inside, and then you can zip this all the way up. I'm going to crawl inside the bag to show you how comfortable I am. Now I'm 185 centimeters, 6'1". So if I crawl inside here, before I crawl all the way down, I'll start to show you the free flow zip system. And Cedar Summit wanted to maintain this in their bags to allow versatility around the campsite, so your sleeping bag doesn't just become something that you sleep in, but almost something that you can live in around the campsite if it is really bad weather. So the zipper on this side adds weight, but adds so much functionality. If we unzip this, I can fold this forward, tuck my feet in right down like this, and sit like this. I can actually almost cross my feet actually, and sit comfortably like this, so I can eat my breakfast. I can sit up in the morning, maintain all this warmth, keep my feet and my legs warm, sit up, cook my breakfast and function if I like, without having to get right out of the bag. So this adds functionality. If it's a little bit warm at night, it also allows you just to unzip this top section entirely, sleep with it part way down, or just loose over the top so you've got this ventilation on the sides here. So this zip on each side here also allows you to increase ventilation through the bag. Furthermore, if you zip this part way up, just up to sort of roughly where your armpits would be, and then use the little quilt lock clips here, do these up. You can put your arms out the side like this and almost wear the sleeping bag like a jacket. So you just slide your bum all the way down. Find the clip on this side here and do this up as well. I just want to do this zip up a little bit more. I can now sit one step further to that being folded forward is to maintain most of the warmth around my torso here, and I can sit up and I have my arms free while I'm still in the sleeping bag. If it's really cold, I can still leave the hood over my head even. It does get a bit tight if you don't slide all the way down in the bag, but I can leave that over my head. If I'm sitting like this and I want to stay warm up here, but my feet are getting hot, I can just reach down to the base here and unzip this. Now this is a locking zip at the end here, so you need to just wiggle it to get it started. Once it starts, unzip that, stick your feet out the end and cool yourself down. So I've got a nice warm torso, letting some heat out through my feet there. If I'm still a bit warm, let some heat out through my head and I can probably maintain my temperature. So really versatile way to use the bag, or get up and walk somewhere if you like. Walk across the campsite, keep your sleeping bag on. So this free flow zip system adds so much versatility to your sleeping bag. You don't have to get out of it in the morning. You can just stay in your sleeping bag all day if you want. Now I will lie right down in the tent, not in the tent, it's a sleeping bag. Tuck my arms inside. There are extended zipper pulls on both the outside and the inside here. So it's nice and easy to do that up from the inside of the bag on both sides here. And I'm now sealed up inside the bag. Now, 185 centimeters. If I sit with my feet straight up at the ends here, I'm just going to sit up. I'm just going to puff the down. There's still a bit of down puffed up there. Usually it's where your feet stick up that it compresses the down, but I've still got a bit of insulation around my feet there. So this three-dimensional foot box allows me space, but in reality my feet are probably going to be sideways inside there or pointed. So yeah, certainly my feet are feeling warm in there right now. And if I lie down and pull the hood over my head, I've got a good amount of space. If you have like a lot of wiggle room, I would say a long version is going to be good for you if you're 185 centimeters, but anything under 185, you're going to fit pretty comfortably in this. I can tighten this up if I like, or I'll put a pillow in for you, but the hood is quite contoured, so it's harder to get the pillow in, but once it is in, the pillow stays in place. And while that lifts my head up a little further, this doesn't come quite as far over my head here, I could tighten this up, and that actually feels really comfortable now, so I could sit quite comfortably in here. I've got this draft tube that sits around my neck, and I can just about seal, maybe tighten that up a little more around my head. I could seal most of the air, and I'm feeling quite warm lying in here now. It's not overly cold in the shop here at the moment. So that's how comfortably I sleep inside the bag. I'd be pretty happy with a regular size for my height. I do want to show you the pack size of these bags though. So when you pack your down sleeping bag, don't try and roll it into the bag, just stuff it in. It's actually better for the down, creates an irregularity in the way the down's compressed. If you roll it, it creates sort of big sheets of down and it doesn't puff up as much. So stuff it in and just keep twisting it around to fill all the empty corners. Consider someone to be pretty generous with the size of their compression sacks here. Important to note too that these compression sacks are actually consistent with the size of their regular compression sacks that they offer. So if you do happen to break, lose, or just require a second one of these, you can replace it with pretty much the same size, and they specify what size that is. You can see that on our website. This is the uncompressed size. of both bags. So I've got the -1 degree here and the -9 degree here. You can squash that down even further. If I just squash down on top of this and just keep working my way around, I can compress these down. I'll do that to both of these and show you how small they will get. So that is, I haven't put a lot of muscle into it, but that's the compressed size of the two bags. And so you can see, if you've had a look at the Trek range from Cedar Summit, they're a little bit bigger than this. If you're really focused on being a lighter weight and hiking focused, these are slightly smaller. That's a -9 degree bag there, a -1. You can squash them down a little bit further if you really wanted to put some muscle into it. That is the Ascent sleeping bags from Cedar Summit, the most versatile bag in the Cedar Summit sleeping bag range. Check them out online at snowies.com.au.